Okay, we are 1 week away from finishing this project, and the timing couldn't be any more perfect because summer's just around the corner. Let's go check out this nearly complete project. All right, check out the first thing you'll notice when you walk into this house, the ceilings. We talked about it before. These are the fry reglets that are encased inside the drywall, coupled with the trimless lights. And over here, you'll see the trimless AC diffusers. Now, you notice that there's no flanges around any of these items. Typically, you'll see a ring around pot lights. You'll see a casing or a trim around the AC vents. But in this case, everything is trimless. It all blends together, giving a really, really strong modern taste or modern touch to this house. And check out this kitchen. We had planned to use all integrated appliances, meaning that the fridge and the freezer are using the same doors as the millwork, so it all blends in together. And a few videos back, I talked about the gas cooktop that I was excited to show you. Well, here it is. This is the diagonal cooktop. It's got the wok burner in the middle, but look how the burners and the controls are separated. On this model, the controls are actually mounted on the millwork itself, and they actually light up when you turn them on. So it's got a really cool feature. At nighttime, it actually really jumps out at you because the LED just, wow, comes on as soon as the controls are activated. But a really cool feature, really sleek. It doesn't get in your way when you want to cook, and when you want to clean it, it's actually pretty easy also. I want to draw your attention over to the pantry area where we have a built-in steam oven. We have a built-in oven as well. These are kind of cool, all touch activated. Isn't that cool? No need to actually force these things open. Very, very nice European appliances. And again, it's all built in, integrated with the rest of the pantry area. Another feature I want to show you is the master ensuite. Let's check that one out. Isn't that a crazy view? This is the master bedroom. So one of the first things that'll jump out at you when you walked into this master ensuite is the steam shower. Now check this out. Right away, you'll see it's lit up by a vertical LED channel that's embedded into the tile work, waterproofed. We have a built-in shower caddy for all your shampoos and whatnot. And check it out. Built-in rain head. Beautiful faucet by Ruby, hand shower, push button controls. And this, the Mr. Steam shower unit. And check out where the steam comes out. This is the Mr. Steam linear steam diffuser. Well, commonly, I would say, most commonly you see a round hockey puck that's surface mounted onto the tiles. I like to use this linear one. It's very sleek. It's all hidden inside the walls, and it just looks so cool. And we can't forget the shower base by Fiore. Again, check out the nice transition, or barely any transition, from the tile to the shower base area. And when you get into the actual washroom area, just check out the ceiling height. Look how much room you have. Fry reglets around the top again, capturing the 4 pot lights. Tiled wall, floor to ceiling. And I love this square tub we put in here. This is one of my favorite ones. Traditionally, tubs are like the oval or elongated shape. You kind of lie down inside them. But this one allows you to actually sit in the tub and fill the water quite high. It'll actually come up to your chest. And we have an integrated faucet here, same as the shower, with a waterfall faucet, push button controls. But just imagine this, taking a bath and having the view of the North Shore Mountains right there. And check out this countertop made by Wet Style. It's the Wet Style Lavatory. It's an integrated countertop with the sink. This is an acrylic product. A lot of times these things come at a certain size which may not fit to your application. So we have the flexibility to actually cut these down to the size that we needed. And many, many videos ago, you'll remember me talking about having a less shallow countertop so you have more space to stand in the washroom. Well, this is where you can see it in action. Because the faucets are mounted on the wall, this countertop does not have to be so deep anymore because they don't have to have the additional space behind this sink to accommodate a deck-mounted faucet. So now we have a shallower sink, which is fine, and we have more space to stand, which is important, and yet it fulfills all the functions that you need for a well planned out washroom. And you can never deny the comfort of having a SensoWash bidet style toilet seat mounted on a wall mounted toilet. These things are clean to use, they're nice to look at, they save a lot of space, they have nice controls that you can choose from. This one is just a basic one, but this is a top of the line toilet seat. But overall, it just blends very nicely with the washroom, and it's very healthy to have around the house. And here is the laundry room, very typical layout, washer dryer stored side by side. We have a countertop over top of the washer dryers for folding clothes, storage, whatever, hanging rods for the drying items, and a wash sink. Very typical, but very effective use of space. Now there's one feature of this house we never talked about in the videos. It's about the airflow from the HVAC machines to the bedrooms. Now, one of the biggest complaints that homeowners have is bedrooms in the house are not equally heated or cooled by the HVAC system. Now, why is that? The ductwork that leads to those bedrooms oftentimes are plagued with air leaks. So the connections are not taped properly or they're not duct sealed properly. What we did in this house was we duct sealed every single joint going to the rooms. We made sure all the connections were tight and taped. But we took one more measure to enforce the air tightness. We use a product called AeroSeal. Now AeroSeal is very similar to the Aero Barrier product, where it pressurizes the ductwork, releases particles inside the duct as it's under pressure. The particles will try to escape the ductwork, and as it escapes, plugs up all of the cracks and the gaps along the path of that ductwork. Now, this system will run very efficient, meaning that the bedrooms closest to this machine will have the equal amount of airflow as the bedrooms furthest away. Now, what does that do for the occupants of the house? It gives you very efficient use of the heating and cooling loads. It gives you additional comfort so that all occupants are feeling the same amount of heat and the same amount of cooling. And it also lessens the work by the equipment, meaning that it doesn't have to work as hard to heat or cool all the air that's traveling to the furthest rooms, because those rooms are lacking the temperatures that you have set on the primary thermostat. Let's make our way to the rooftop deck. That is the showpiece of this house. I really want to show you the view of Vancouver from there. Let's check it out. Now, just before we get to the rooftop deck, let me show you another cool feature. This is very common in houses now, but the mini blinds that are installed inside the door rather than on top of the door. Now check this out. These are all integrated. You can have a blind feature controlled on the side here. All this without having flappy blinds that flap around as you open and close doors. Okay, welcome to the 600 square foot rooftop deck. Here you can enjoy a really, really nice view of Vancouver. Check this out. And have a look at these railings. We talked about in the past. You can see out, but not necessarily see in. Very robust, low maintenance, no streaking like glass. And it really complements the modern look, overall look of this house. One of the most common questions I had while building this house was, what kind of wood flooring did you put in this house? Was it a white oak? Well, it is a white oak color, but I can tell you this is nowhere near wood. This is a porcelain tile. It comes in sizes of 8 inches wide by 4 feet long, all planks. And if you look closely, you'll notice there's no replication. Every piece is different. In a lot of the laminate or the engineered hardwoods, the pattern repeats itself, but look around, it's actually a very random look. And another feature is, if you look even closer, I leave very little space between each tile, so I don't like to see the big fat grout joint. That gives even more resemblance to a real wood floor. And if you have a look at this area, you'll notice that the stairs were completely cladded with the same tile. And why did we choose to do that? The reason why we chose this tile for the stairs is to have a continuous look from the main floor and to connect the upstairs, which is also using the same porcelain tile. But when it comes to the nosings, it's very difficult to put a nosing on this that works properly and still matches. In this case, we use a Schluter Step B nosing. It's an extruded aluminum nosing with a rubber anti-slip cover on the end, just so it's more comfortable to walk up and down the stairs. Let's make our way to the laneway house and see how that one finished up. And just before we go, do you remember the Lutron keypads that we spoke about in the past? Well, here it is. One button would control pre-programmed set of lights. So rather than having 6 different switches here, you have it all consolidated in a single gang keypad, which is nice to look at without all the clutter. Check out the grass. Looks like it's been grabbing very nicely with the topsoil, very healthy. And check out the backside of the house. Wow, what a modern look that is. Hardy panels, the color coordination, the contrasting white, the metal railings, everything came together very nicely here. We kept that the genre with the laneway house. Similar materials, similar color patterns. Everything worked out pretty nice. You know, every time I walk into this laneway house, I forget it's actual laneway house because look at the ceiling heights. The fry reglets give it that much more feature to the ceilings. It just feels very comfortable in here. But check out this feature. This is a feature that was made by accident. We just happen to have a planter right beside the window on the lane side. But the flowers actually can transform this window into almost a portrait. Pretty cool. You might have also noticed one common thing amongst all the kitchens of the laneway house, the main house, and the rental suite. It's the same theme. Everywhere we look, it's the same theme. Okay, this window on the other hand was no accident. This is actually a feature that the designer had incorporated into this kitchen. Now just check it out. A piece of glass where normally a backsplash would go. This does many things. It gives you a lot of natural light coming in to flood your countertops. Same time, still giving you somewhat a little bit of privacy because of the height of this window. I think it's a really cool feature. Now, laneway houses in general are usually small, but this one in particular, we maximize the use of all the space and we managed to get 2 bedrooms out of the upper floor. Check it out. We still have our heights, nice 9.5-foot ceilings. It's somewhat spacious. Working our way to the 2nd bedroom, a little smaller, but the height makes up for it. And these 2 bedrooms share one common washroom. Because of the space constraints, this is the time we really want to consider wall-mounted toilets, wall-mounted faucet, and countertops, which are not standard size depth, make it a little bit shorter. And again, we use the wet style integrated lavatory style counters with built-in sinks. Very, very effective use of the space. In addition, we have the Fiori shower bases, so we don't have a curb. And it just so happens that the curb would normally have taken about 3.5 inches of the space. Now, it's just a nice flat surface to walk into. So the next time I'll be walking to this house is to go through the house with the city inspector. But so far, things check out with me. Let's see what he has to say about it.